Hey everybody, welcome back to FallingFoxGaming. I am your host Blaine, and today we're going to be playing some Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. Now I am pretty new to this series just in general, and I do know that it is a pretty serious simulator, but I do want to give it a chance and I want to see what you guys think of it. So we're going to go ahead and just jump into a brand new game, normal settings and everything, nothing too fancy, and let's see what this game is all about. And here we are, our own mechanic shop. Now, just looking around, we're in the middle of nowhere. We're on a highway in the middle of a desert, it looks like, with nothing else nearby. Let's head inside and see what we got. Oh, whoa. Okay, so I guess we have a broken down bus and a bunch of junk over here. And, well, this part of the shop doesn't seem to be so bad. As far as I can tell, it looks like we have all kind of the basic stuff. Yeah, it seems like we have a tire changer, a wheel balancer. Thought there was something else I saw over here. Interior detailing toolkit apparently. Oh, right there. Spring puller. And as we get over to the toolbox here, we actually can see our skills that we can increase as we level up. The bottom skills cost 1 point, and they keep going up by 1 point as you get higher in the tier list. The skills are mostly just upgrades of the previous skill, and we'll talk about them as we collect them. But if we look at the garage and tool upgrades that we can do, there's some cool stuff here. So I'm going to go ahead and just click through the different upgrades that we can do so you guys can pause the video and read them on your own. But for the most part, it's just upgrades for our shop or tools that we can get for diagnostics. And then over here is our phone where we can actually look at our repair orders that we can select from. Now these kind of cycle as the time limit drops down, the job will disappear, and then a new job will eventually replace it. The ones in blue on top are the story missions that are much more complex but usually offer more rewards. The repair orders that we actually have to complete are on the right hand side, and it tells us kind of what we have to do. Sometimes you get a list provided that tells you what's wrong, other times you just have to figure it out for yourself. We're actually going to take the second job instead of the story one, so that way I can show you guys how we change out fluids and everything without there being other complications. The usual first step that we're going to do is go to car status and see what our job actually is and check out each and every job that they expect us to complete. For this particular job, all we're expected to do is refill the brake fluid and the coolant fluid. We don't even have to drain anything, so that's nice. Now, before we actually get to the job, the first thing that we're going to do is try and figure out everything that's wrong with the car. And that includes just examining it, which is our basic skill that we have to just kind of look at every single different section of the car and find out the different problems that we can visually inspect and see. Now, this is a pretty tedious process, but we'll do it with every single car that comes in because you can net about 40 or 50 experience points for every single car that you get, whether or not you have to do any work or very much work on them at all. Aside from that, when you get diagnostic tools, you can actually do some automated versions of that where you get a bunch of experience points just for basically having the tool, and it will also tell you the condition of a whole bunch of different parts that you can't normally inspect. Alright, with that fully inspected, let's go ahead and recheck the job to make sure I remember what we're doing. Okay, brake fluid and coolant fluid. Alright, so starting with the brake fluid back here, all you have to do is hold the button on the cap of the fluid you want to fill up, and your guy will start pouring. And he'll pour pretty fast, and then he'll slow down when it's near the top. So once he slows down, you just go for another second or two and then quit, and that's usually good enough for the fluid. And then for this car, we just pour the coolant right into the radiator. So you just hold on the cap and you'll start pouring it into the radiator. And same thing, you just go until he starts slowing down, then you wait another second or two, and then that will be enough. And that's actually it for this job. So all we have to do is go out and click finish job, and we are all done. We'll get our money and everything, and we'll be able to move on. Alright, so this next job says that this car has brake problems, and only brake problems. So this could be a pretty easy fix. Let's hope it is. Seeing as this car actually runs, God, this is an ugly car. Jeez, look at that color. That is nasty. But, what was I saying? Seeing as this car actually runs, we're actually going to take it to the test track because we can actually discover a bunch of broken parts and damaged parts from there. So let's go ahead and just hop over there. Alright, so here we are. We're going to go ahead and just do the test course. So we can switch cameras, a couple different view angles. Kind of a slow car, honestly. So first is a slalom test. Here you can test the suspension and everything. And the car does handle differently if there are broken parts and everything. This is supposed to be the acceleration test, but, well, I don't think this car has much acceleration anyways. Okay. Brakes are kind of janky, which is to be expected. And then there's the suspension test. Yeah, this one tests the suspension really good. And so I don't think the actual tests matter. I think they're more of just for fun. You just have to kind of complete the course for the car to... Damn, I missed the spot. Go on. Okay, there we go. Okay, and we can see all the broken parts right there on the left-hand side. 5%, 17, 17, 18, 18, 25. Yeah, those are awful. That is definitely things that we're going to have to replace. And then we can also see the other thing that we learned from the test. So now that we know everything that we are going to need to replace, we're going to go ahead and do the full diagnostics just like we have in the past. So I'll just go ahead and skip that for you guys so you don't have to sit through it. Okay, so we finished doing all the scans and everything, and this is everything that we've learned total. We have 2 brake calipers, 2 brake discs, a brake pad, and a brake disc ventilated. That all has to be changed out. Now, seeing as there's so many different parts, I'm guessing it's going to be on multiple wheels, which kind of is going to slow down the process a little bit, but not a big deal. Let's go ahead and move it over to the car lift. And then I guess we'll just get started here. We'll bump up the lift a little bit because we do got to pick it up to actually work on the tires. And then I'm just going to take this tire, brake caliper, and brake pad off so we can see the car a little bit better from this point of view. As you can see, the blue highlight stays for all the parts that need to be fixed because we highlighted it here. So that's kind of what we're looking for. So we're just going to go ahead and replace all of these parts. Now I'm going to fast forward this a little bit because I want to get onto the main car here. So enjoy this. And with the last part being fixed, we can go ahead and just go back to the job and take a look at our total payout for the job. 590 credits, not exactly great, but not necessarily bad either. So let's go ahead and just finish that up. Okay, so I did a few extra jobs off screen just so I can finish getting these upgrade tools. Now I have pretty much all of them and we'll take a look at them when the mission starts, but I am up to level 3 and I did have like 1900 credits before this job started. Now that we're going to have a little bit less because we're buying the rest of the tools, but I wanted to have all the tools before we actually started the mission just in case we actually need them. So let's go over here and take a look at the main story mission now. So the Luxor Baron. Now, let's see, what does it say here? Hi, I'm just passing by and noticed your repair shop. It's good that somebody took care of that old ruined petrol station. The car that I'm coming in with today is quite a recent purchase. It was used on a daily basis. The condition is rather okay. It would be good to check the oil levels and tires. That should be no problem for you. If you manage, then perhaps this won't be our last meeting. See you. So we have to change the oil, drain the old, and refill with new, and then there's some other tasks associated with it. So let's go ahead and just accept that. And there she is, our very first story job. Now, the story jobs are a lot more complex than the standard jobs usually, and I honestly don't remember what we had to actually do for this one. So I know that there's something to do with the tires, I think. I think we have to swap out the tires and then the fluids. I think that's kind of the primary part of it. But seeing as we haven't actually used any of the tools on screen, let's go ahead and show you guys all of the tools. The first is the OBD scanner, but unfortunately this thing doesn't have an onboard computer, so we can't actually scan it, so that doesn't work. Next up is the compression tester, which basically tests all the compression within the engine, so like the pistons and everything like that. And I imagine a rust bucket like this probably isn't all that good, but it doesn't really matter. Every part it scans is 1 XP for us, so it's basically a whole bunch of parts that we get XP for, and we don't really have to actually do anything. And then the same thing goes for the multimeter. It's going to scan a whole bunch of the electronic stuff like the alternator and starter and whatnot and the fuses. And 1 XP per item. And this job I don't think has anything to do with those, so we don't have to worry about it. But in the future, if we have any of those parts that are actually bad, this will tell us, and then we'll be able to swap them out without having to dig through and try and find it ourselves. And then of course the tread tester is pretty self-explanatory. You can just test the threads on each of the 4 tires, and you can tell just from here that the tires are completely bald, so yeah, we're probably going to be swapping those out. And last but not least is the fuel pressure test, which will check like the carburetor, the fuel pump, and a couple of the other parts like that. That checks to make sure that there's fuel going through the system properly. Now, all of these tests all kind of accumulate to a whole bunch of free XP per car that you do, because you check all these on every single car, and you generally net between like 80 and 130 points, depending on the car and how old it is. I should also note that a bunch of these tools don't actually work if the car doesn't start up, so there's some things we can't do if the car doesn't actually work. So now that we've done all the scans, let's go ahead and take a look at the actual job and see what we've uncovered. And it looks like we have everything discovered, so we can go ahead and just highlight everything. That way we know what to fix as soon as we look at the car. Alright, just finish these up here. And then let's see what the change oil is. Okay, so just change oil, we can't highlight that. And then change brake fluid, power steering, and washer fluid. So these are all pretty easy. These are going to be the main things right here, and all the other tasks we just have to kind of do at the very end. So let's just go ahead and get started on taking the car apart here. So I like to actually start by draining out all the fluids. That way we don't actually forget to do that and then have to pay a whole bunch of money for making a mess out of our shop. So we're going to go ahead and just drain all of the reservoirs here, starting with the power steering. And then where is the brake? There it is, brake servo. I sometimes forget the brake one. A lot of times you don't need to do it. The radiator cap, this one I seem to always forget, and then I make a huge mess and then I have to pay for it. And then the fuel filter we can't actually do. We have to actually get that, or we actually have to change the oil from underneath to begin with. So we'll get that here in a second. Gotta move that inside first, move it to the lift. And then let's see here. What am I doing? Okay, so let's take a look at the tires. Yeah, the tires are awful. So let's go ahead and just begin removing them. Oh, we gotta change the lift. I forgot, we gotta jack it up first. So that's what I was saying. You have to have the car up in the air to actually work on the tires. So I don't know what I'm doing here. I might as well just do the oil, I guess, while I'm sitting here. I don't want to forget that, because that would be my luck. Come on, move. There we go. And then just click on our magic oil machine that just does it for us. There was not very much oil in that at all. Jeez. Okay. And then let's grab the filter while we're down here, just so we don't forget about that. Let's see. There we go. Oil filter for the V8. Yep. Oh, we got a bunch of stuff on our list, so let's clear that and re-add that. And then because we have the tablet, we can actually just buy parts right here. So that's how easy it is. Buying parts for things that we know is pretty much instantaneous now. So that is why you really need the tablet early on. Makes your life a lot easier. And just add the oil filter back on, and there we go. Okay, we'll lower the lift a little bit because we don't need it that high anymore. Make it a little bit easier to view things from down here. Let's see, we need to change the air filter, so we might as well do that, I guess. Take the bolt out. And that filter, oh my god, it looks awful. Well, I would not want to be breathing in whatever air is coming through that. Go ahead and just buy one of those guys. See, normally, if you don't have the tablet, you actually have to just like go over to the computer every time you want to do this, and it takes forever to run back and forth. This way we can just do it right on the fly. And that should be just about done for the air filter. Two of the main things done already. Let's see, what else do we need to do here? I think there was the fuel pump is back here, so let's try and get that from over here. Turn the camera, and there we go. Up, there we go. Okay, add that to the list and then take it out. And go to our store. Once again, just buy this. Oh, click. There we go. And that's what a lot of this game is. Once you actually get the repair jobs down, you can actually do these really fast if you're not trying to commentate. That's part of the reason why I was doing stuff off screen. I can do these tasks really fast, like these really easy ones like this. Without the story mission being completed, the only things that I had was effectively just changing fluids, but that's pretty much it. But now you guys get to see a brake job. So this way we get to see a little bit more than we normally would with some of the other jobs, because you have to do kind of things in every part of the car. So we know that the tire is the primary thing we have to swap out here, and I don't think we need anything else. Where is it here? Oh yeah, I gotta take the tire off the rim, so here we go. Let that do that while we're taking off the other tires. So one thing that's really important when you're actually buying new tires is the shop does not take into account your notes when you're actually buying the tires. So you actually have to make sure you remember the sizes. So if you're ever doing tires, make sure you just write down the numbers, or, you know, have a good memory. You know, actually for this car being like a rust bucket, I'm actually really surprised that like there isn't other big issues. So that's how the machine works. Just kind of pops the thing off, and then there you go. All right, last tire here. Oh, this one has a stuck nut. I love these. So when you're done with the normal ones, you get to this one here and see if you try and undo it. Nope, doesn't come off. You gotta spray it with some WD-40, or I think it's called like, what is it, 04 DW or something like that in this game. I love it. And that should be all the tires. And then take that guy off. And now let's see here. If we go to our inventory, what size is that? 215, 75R, 15. Okay, try and remember that. I think I can remember that. 215, 75R, 15. See, it does remember it on your actual list, but when you actually go to buy the item, it doesn't actually show it. So, and then we do need a couple brake pads. Wait, where's no brake pads back here? Oh, it's a brake drum back here. Oh, that's probably why there's only the 2 brake pads that we need. Very old car, very old indeed. I guess we're gonna have to take the calipers off here, so take these guys off. Oh, we got another stuck bolt. That's the dark oranges for the bolts. When they're dark orange, that means you gotta spray them. You don't actually have to turn around, by the way. You can actually just undo things through other parts, which is very convenient for the game. And we do need the brake pads. We do know that we need 2 of them, so let's just go ahead and buy 2 of them while we're here. There we are. Install that guy, or take him off, sorry. And then install. And install. Calipers are garbage. Like, those are gonna like rust on or off, fall off at some point. Oh yeah, we can't install the tire because we don't have the tire. Haha. So let's go ahead and just take care of the other brake while we're at it. Caliper first, right? Yep. And most of these parts are pretty easy to take off. You'll be doing brakes a ton in the early game, so just get used to doing it very quickly. This job is actually very, very simple. I thought it was a lot more complicated. Maybe it's the second one that's a lot more complicated than I thought it was. So now that we have all the brakes taken care of, we need to go ahead and actually buy the tires. So we're gonna go ahead and just get rid of all this junk off of our list here and go ahead and add the tire back on so I don't forget it. 215, 75R, 15. I'm gonna forget it, I'm gonna buy the wrong tires, which you don't want to. Tires are extremely expensive. Let's see, 15, let's see here. 215 and 75, I think it was, right? I think that's right. Yeah. I hate that you can't open your notes right here. It's really dumb. So we need to buy 4 of them. Yeah, 644 credits. That's not something you want to buy the wrong thing of because you only get like half your money back when you go to sell it. So make sure you are clicking on the right things. Like I said, it's probably better off just writing it down on a piece of note paper. So we actually have to go back over here to the tire changer and we actually have to install them now. So we have to put the rim and the tire together, which just in case you guys didn't know, the black part is actually called the tire. The tire is not the entire thing together. That's the wheel. It's the rim and the tire together that create the wheel. So rim and tire, and we'll let that do that. I feel like there's something else we're supposed to do, but I don't remember what. I'm going to remember at the very end, and then I'm like, oh, duh. I suppose we can fill some of the fluids while we're sitting here. All right, brake fluid. Doop, doop, doop. You guys haven't seen me do this, but I've done this like 20 times. I've already done like 10 missions. Not probably, I don't know if it's been 10. That may be a little bit exaggerating, but I've already done a whole bunch of missions, or a bunch of jobs. And then power steering fluid, which I don't think I actually had to drain that. I don't remember. I feel like I did an extra fluid, which kind of sucks because that is actually wasting money because you do actually have to pay for the fluid. And then we got to fill the, there we go, washer fluid. Might as well fill that. I don't know if we actually have to, but it's low, so why not? Most mechanic shops you go to fill it anyways. And then what else? Oil, yeah, oil. You definitely need oil in your car. Do not start your car without oil. That will be bad. That will be very, very bad. And now I don't even actually check the dipstick. As soon as it slows down like that, I just kind of go for a little bit longer and then I stop. All right, that should be all the fluids, I believe. And our tire over here should be done because that was a very long time. Take that and then do our last tire. I still feel like there's something we're missing, but I'm not sure what. All right, go ahead and just add this tire on while that's doing that. I suppose we could have been doing that the whole time. What? Hold on. What? Wait, you don't have necessary parts. I bought the right tires, right? I swear I bought the right tires. Hold on. 215, 75R, 15. Yeah, that's the right size. Let me check my notes. Oh, wait. Oh, the wheel balancer. I totally forgot. You got to balance the tires. Okay, yeah. So I forgot about that. You actually have to balance the tires. So let me show you this little mini game. I actually like this one. This is a cool one. Pretty quick. Once you're done doing a tire change, you actually have to go in here and balance each tire. So you just match up the green with the yellow, and it's pretty simple. It's very easy, but I do think it's kind of fun. So all you got to do, you do it a couple times per tire. And yeah, it's a little bit, it takes a little while, but it's really not that bad. Once you get the hang of it, it's super fast. And it's also something to kind of break up, just screwing and unscrewing everything. So I do enjoy the mini games on here. Okay, so now that we got the tires, let's go ahead and start installing them. Go ahead and throw them on. Tires look a lot better now. And that should be the last tire. I believe that should be everything. Yep, finish order. We can be completely done here. So I'm just going to uncheck all those just for the sake of it. Oil change done. Brake fluid, power steering, and washer fluid all done. Yep, so here we go. So grand total, 2106 for the entire job. So that is a nice chunk of money. And that's pretty much it. That is the first story mission completely done. First story job, whatever you're going to call it. So I'm actually going to be playing this game a decent amount as long as you guys enjoy it, because I actually really, really love this game, and I do want to upgrade the actual garage and get a couple of the different upgrades because they're actually pretty useful. But here's the thing. So this game has a very long grind to it, so I'm going to do a whole bunch of it off screen, and I'm just going to make videos as I slowly progress through the game. The next video is going to be a bit of a time skip. I'm going to try and get up to the level 10 or 11 range. That way we actually have a decent amount of money and we can actually buy the next upgrade so we can actually do some more cool stuff. Otherwise, it's just doing brake jobs and occasionally changing fluids and stuff like that, which it gets repetitive and kind of boring. So when we come back, we're going to be around level 10 or so, probably at least level 10, so we can do the barn finds and stuff because those are really cool. But we're going to try and buy ourselves a junker. I kind of want to buy just a really junky car and then work towards fixing that up as we do jobs. And that's what I kind of want to do a little mini series on. So when we come back, we're going to be searching for our first car to buy, and it's going to be a very, very junky car, I promise you. So thank you guys for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. The next videos will be a lot less tutorial-y. This game has a lot to it, and I just kind of wanted to explain all of it in this video. And I think more freestyle game will be a little bit more enjoyable. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. So thank you guys for watching. If you like the episode, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.